Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Gavishiddaya. So I am here with another game which is a King's Indian Defense game. That is, the opening name is King's Indian Defense. So this game is played in 2016 in Dubai Open, and the black player name is Gawain Jones once again, and white player name Nazad Hossein Aziz. So here opening is King's Indian Defense game, but the point is how black player played after finish of the opening. The way he continued the game was really amazing. So that is the part we have to learn in this game. Okay, so how he just start putting pressure on opponent's position, and how he tried to use some tactics. That is the main important thing I just wanted to discuss with you guys. So recently I have observed many of YouTubers are taking most recent games or a classic games, like two old games, but the games which you have played between maybe 2000, 1980, maybe those games I have not seen from any of the youtubers uh, youtubers which are taking. So that's why I thought of to take some games which are not analyzed in any of the formats, any of the, like, online website or something, right? So that's why I don't think this game is analyzed somewhere else. So that's why I have taken this game, because as I already told you in the previous videos, King's and Defense is my favorite opening, and I like the positions occurring from this particular opening. So that's why, so this game is really one of the um, best games which I feel. Okay, fine. All right, let's start. D4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, castling. Normally, d6 is played in this position. So, most probably, castling is played very rarely. But here, if white plays e5, black can play knight e8, followed by black can break with the pawn d6. Maybe sometimes something like c5 break, those things can come up. So white didn't go for that variation. White just continued with the normal continuation, and after d6, game transfers to the standard classical King's Indian variation. Bishop e2, e5, castling. If white play pawn to d5, and that is Petrosian variation of the King's Indian defense. So white did castling. This variation is also called Mar-del Plata variation. Mar-del-Plata. Mar-del-Plata. NC6, and here white is gaining a tempo d5. All theory. Ne7, and here b4, bayonet attack. In this position, at presently, NHV considered the main line, but in the game, Jones played a5. And here bishop a3 he move played, and in the round 1, day before yesterday, Vidit Gujarati played pawn takes a5 against his opponent in round 1. I'm planning to analyze that game also in my channel, so let me analyze in some of the times. After the b into a5 he continued, but after some time white managed to win that game. But after a5, in this particular game, white played bishop a3, a into b4, bishop into b4. In this position, black played rook e8, but probably b6 is the theory. In this, black played rook e8 and white played a4. After a4, now black played bishop f8. The reason is black wants to push c5. Oh, sorry, c5. When white captures 1%, you want to capture it knight, and the d6 pawn should be protected uh, from the bishop as well as from the queen, where white bishop and queen both are attacking that square. But here rook e1 is played. Maybe white can play knight b5 here to stop c5, because after c5, pawn into c5, knight into pawn into c6, knight into c6, bishop into d6, bishop into d6, queen into d6, queen into d6, knight into d6. But maybe white may wanted to get one more attacker on that. Is there any flaw? Yeah, knight b5 means knight into e4 is going correct. Probably he didn't, because of this he didn't play knight b5. Most probably, yeah. Because after knight into e4, knight c5 can come up, right? So that's so maybe that's the reason. Rook e8, is it okay move, or should black have continued with b6? That is theoretical discussion. So we may discuss in some other game. But now let's see the beauty of this particular game. Okay, yeah. So rook e1 is played, and here c5, because bishop a3 is played. But if unpeasant, black is taking with knight into c6, and d6 square is protected by the bishop. So that's why black first played bishop f8 followed by c5. So bishop a3. Now king side is almost, oh, sorry, king not king side, queen side. Queen side is almost, not completely, almost closed, mainly the center square. White can go ahead with some operations on the b file, but let's see who is faster, white or black. Black on the king side and white is on the queen side. Especially in this kind of pawn structure, e4 d5, d6 e5, yeah, d6 e5, e4 d5. In this kind of central pawn formation, usually white will play on the queen side and black will play on the king side. So now black played knight d7, preparing to play f5 because of this particular pawn structure in the center. White played bishop b2 and black played bishop g7. White played rook a3, and here black played rook a6. Maybe he played that just to defend some squares in the queen side. After knight b5, anyway, this d6 is already protected by the rook, so no need to worry. Rook f8. Now well set for position is well set to play f5, because when the rook is not on f8, playing f5 may not be so great because no one is playing that way. So that's why. Yeah, okay, black played rook f8 and white played g3 and black played f5. My main focus is to show game from this particular point. So knight g5 and knight e6 is threatened, so black has to move the knight to f6. At any point knight e6 means bishop into d6 will go. So white played pawn takes f5. In this position, there is one general theory that every Russian school boy knows we have to capture on f5 with the pawn. But sometimes we have to take the decision based on the positional requirement. So that's why here black played knight into f5. The reason is at some point he may be considering to put the knight on d4 because very strong point for black here. No white pawn is controlling that square, and black is having two pawns control on that particular square, and in case black can consider playing knight to d4 in some situations. White played bishop e3, and here black noticed that okay, there is the bishop don't have protection on b2, and f file is open for black. For black, f file is open because there is no black pawn in the f file. Okay, so white noticed that those factors, plus even g5 knight is also hanging. That's why, so white took advantage of that particular these particular factors and played pawn. Sorry, not white. Sorry. It's black. Okay, so black played pawn e4. In this case, white declined that pawn offer because this is a temporary pawn sacrifice. What I am thinking is, in case if black not black. White captures on e4 with the knight or with the bishop. Then black will play knight in t4 and b2 bishop is hanging. I would put red. Yeah. In case if white plays bishop into g7, there is a tactical idea. Knight into f2 because it may black white may not capture that because if king into f2, knight into g7 can come up, or maybe king into g7 also can go, where position is materially it is equal, but black will have active pieces and white's king will be open. So that's why after knight into f2, knight into e4, bishop into g7, knight into f2 means king into f2 can come up, right? So that's why in this position, white didn't capture on e4, white just played bishop c2. After bishop c2, black is just further continuing to pressurize f2 square. Knight g4. This is a sacrifice, right? It may be a temporary sacrifice, but yeah, there is a discard attack on b2 square also and discard attack on g5 knight also. That's why white played bishop takes g7, and here black captured on f2, attacking the queen. Again, there is no way for white. White has to just move the queen, queen c1, and knight into g7. After knight into g7, f2 knight is also protected, and from the rook on f8, and he just captured the bishop also, and there is a threat now. It's very simple threat. So queen takes g5 is the threat, because queen takes g5, when white captures on g5, knight takes 3 check followed by knight into queen. Okay, so that's a threat. And here white played knight into e4, and black should not capture knight into e4 because black's knight is more active than white's knight. So that's why black played knight h3 check, king g2, and here bishop g4, keeping the pieces more active. Okay, rook f8, and black played. Black just maybe avoided the exchange, right? Maybe knight f5. Yeah, knight f5, correct. And here just keeping all the pieces, almost all the pieces in the board, because white is defending, black is attacking. Why black is attacking? Because black is having active pieces very close to opponent's king. So that's why. After queen d2, now queen e7, releasing the pieces. Rook a1, and here black also brought the rook into play because on a6 it is doing very less task. The fun part comes now actually. Okay, rook a e1 and rook a e8, queen c3. In this position, please pause the video for some time and come up with best continuation for black. Yes, here black played queen e5. Black is preparing to sacrifice the queen for rook and minor piece. Okay, and white accepted the challenge and played knight f6. Rook takes f6, rook into e5, rook into e5, bishop into f5, and here before you capture the bishop, you should give check or something. Probably he gave check. Yeah, correct. And after king h1, now he took on f5, and white also took on f5. After pawn into f5, white found himself in zugzwang. No matter what, next mate is possible. Then he realized, okay, let me play one game, one move, and after rook e1 he resigned. He's forced to resign. He has to resign because next move mate, no matter what, next move mate. If he capture queen into rook, bishop f3 mate. If he play king g2, rook g1 mate. So this is one of the best games which I found. I found. So I hope you all enjoyed the game. So please subscribe and share with your friends. I will be coming up with such games. I'm just trying to show you the games uh, which are not considered by most of the people, and those games are best games. Okay, thank you so much. See you in next video. Bye.